What's going on, everyone? It's your average consumer, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison of the iPhone 5 versus the HTC One S. And just in case you're with T-Mobile and you don't know if you should go get one of their best phones or jump ship and go to the iPhone. So let's not wasting time, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so here we have the HTC One S and here we have the iPhone 5. Now this video really is for anyone with T-Mobile who isn't sure if they want to stick with them or head over to one of the other carriers who currently have the iPhone 5, which is pretty much all of them. So we're going to explore the differences between one of T-Mobile's best phones and of course the iPhone 5. Now to start it off, let's talk about a bit about the design of these phones. These are probably the slimmest phones I've seen to date, and I thought that the HTC One S would hold the crown of the thinnest phone for quite some time, but then the iPhone came around, and as you can see here when I lay them down on this surface, that the iPhone 5 is actually a thinner phone. But the difference really isn't that noticeable until you put them really side by side on a surface like that. But it's just a little scary how thin these phones are, to be honest. I honestly do not feel comfortable using them without a case because the chances of them slipping out of my hands are just too high, and it's just really not that comfortable for me. And also because I took the cases off for this video, I had to put down this microfiber cloth. And the reason I did that is because there's been a lot of reports that people have been getting this black iPhone 5 scratched up quite easily. Some are even saying that it's coming like that out of the box. So I'm a little paranoid with this, and that's my reasoning for having this microfiber cloth here, just to kind of protect it from anything like that. The One S has a 4.3-inch QHD display, and the iPhone 5 has a 4-inch Retina display. Now, pretty much they both look really nice in person. I think the average consumer will be happy with both of these displays as they both look very crisp and clear. Watching videos on these and Netflix and such, they just look amazing. It looks like HD right on your phone. Can't complain at all. Some big tech guys will probably complain that the HTC One S's screen isn't high resolution enough for them, but honestly, for the average consumer, you're going to be just fine. They both look amazing. The next thing we're going to want to compare for the two are the cameras. The back cameras are both 8 megapixel cameras with flash, and I'm actually going to have a video showing the differences between the two. There's quite a bit of difference between the two as far as the actual camera applications. The camera applications on the One S is far more advanced than that of the iPhone. The iPhone 5 has a pretty simple camera, and the all you really get is shoot and record and a few settings, not much. But the One S has a ton of settings here, as you can see, that you can just really change a lot between the different settings here. So the One S has a huge advantage over the iPhone in that regard. And also they both have front-facing cameras. Now this is no contest, to be honest. The HTC One S has a VGA camera, which is really low resolution, and the iPhone 5 has a 720p HD camera. And if you guys have checked out my camera test, you'll see that the HD camera on the iPhone 5, it looks amazing. It's not even a comparison, to be honest. Another bonus that the iPhone seems to have over the One S, besides this little camera, is its speaker. The speaker on the iPhone 5 is actually quite loud. I thought the One S was one of the best speakers I've heard, but to be honest, the iPhone 5 is a lot louder than this is, which really caught me off guard. I was really surprised to see that. And I also have a video demonstrating just how loud the speaker of the iPhone 5 is as well. So be sure to check that out if you're interested, like if the speaker is a big deal for you. But on the phone call, as far as phone calls goes, the receiver on the HTC One S was quite a bit louder than that of the iPhone 5. They both sound great though. In both regards of speakers and receivers, they both sound good. It just so happens that the iPhone has a louder speaker while the 1S has a louder receiver for like phone calls. They both are running with dual core processors, and pretty much what that means is that both phones will be very fast. I've had the 1S for a few months now, and I have yet to experience any slowdowns at all with it. And the iPhone is still very new, so I'm not expecting any slowdowns from this anytime soon. But they're both very fast. Once you get them brand new, you'll love both of them, and I'm pretty sure over time that they'll hold up to it. I know that the 1S has held up very well for me, and I put a ton of apps and all kinds of stuff on here. So I'm very happy that this has never slowed down for me, and I'm pretty confident the iPhone will as well. And since we're on the topic of speed, one thing to note is that the data speeds of LTE are much, much faster than that of HSPA+, which is the 4G that T-Mobile uses right now. And here's a quick example of what I'm talking about. And I must say that this is probably a low test for the iPhone 5. 12 megabyte, about 13 megabytes per second. That's amongst one of the lowest I've seen. If we do it again, you'll see here that it can easily get way past that. As you can see right here, it just hit almost 21 megabytes per second. And that's not even as high as I've seen it go. This is crazy. Yeah, this right here, I don't know how that happened. This is just madness. LTE is on a whole nother level. Almost 40, like this is 47 megabytes per second. This is, I don't even know what to say to this. Now that we've spoken about the overall hardware of the phones, we'll touch a little on the software. And this is pretty much Android versus iOS. And I won't dig too much into it to spark any warfare down in the comment section. But to put it simply, for my average consumers, it all depends on how deep you want to get into your phone. Android offers a ton of customization and features that iOS simply does not have, and it really is a catch-up game that Apple's playing right now. Chances are very high that many of the iPhone's new features will be features that Android has had for quite some time now. And that's looking at you, Panorama. Although that does not mean that Android is the better choice for everyone. Tech enthusiasts and geeks alike will probably be better suited for Android and all of its features, but I do believe that the average consumer might not be willing to get really deep into their phone like that, which is one of the reasons why, of course, iOS does so well. iOS is simple, it's clean, it's easy. It's perfect for the average consumer, really. But I personally like Android a bit more, as it fits my needs, and it lets me do everything I want to with my phone, as far as like widgets and all kinds of fun stuff that I can use, as you can see here. So Android really does work for me, but I do understand that this is about the average consumer, and that's what my channel is based on. And I do feel that the average consumer will have a easier time using the iOS operating system, since it really does just work. It has the apps lined up for you. You just go in and do what you want on it, and it just works. It's pretty simple. It doesn't do much. There's not much there to confuse anyone who might not really be into tech or software. Now, the only problem I really have with iOS is that, average consumer or not, it will get boring. You always have these rows of icons. It'll always look the same. You can't do anything about it. All you can really do is change up the wallpaper, and that's as much fun as you can get. Whereas Android, of course, you have all kinds of wallpapers. You have fun wallpapers here. You have your widgets. And I think this is where the 1S really shines. It has a bunch of great widgets that you can use to customize the phone. As you can see here, there's tons of stuff. It's just a really nice experience on Android, in my opinion. But it's really not for everyone. And that's understandable. And it's really cool that no matter what you do with your Android phone, it'll never look the same as someone else's next to you. Whereas the iPhone, it's pretty uniform. What you see is what you get. What you see is what everyone gets. So there's not too much difference here. There's a lot of customization options with the Android operating system. But I do think that the average consumer will have an easier time with this, even though it can get a bit stale. Overall, I think that they're both very solid phones. The 1S is my main phone personally, and I'm extremely happy with it. The iPhone 5 is also a great phone, and it's pretty much the same experience you'll get on any other iPhone or any iPhone you've seen in the past. So if you're thinking about leaving T-Mobile for an iPhone, or maybe even leaving one of the other carriers for the 1S, I hope this video has helped you in making a bit of a decision and which one might be better for you. I think average consumers might have an easy time here. While they'll have an easy time with Android as well, but I really think that to get the full advantage of Android, you might want to just look into a bit more of what you can do. But I do think that they're both good for your average consumer regardless. And hopefully this video has helped you make a decision. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment telling me what you think. And hopefully that doesn't mean a rage war between iOS fanboys and Android fanboys. And that pretty much wraps up my comparison of the 1S and the iPhone 5. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Alright guys, this is your average consumer. Till the next video, peace.